what a great day to sew something wonderful. I'm Kia with Kia B.
And this is Tech Guy from the Hive.
And welcome to Flosstube. We're so excited to be back with you today, post-Stitch Con.
Yay!
And guess what? It's my birthday.
No, it's not. Yes, it is.
We had such a good day. It is my birthday today. We went to, I think we've talked about this before, just in the town next to us, we have an old movie theater. And they've been restoring it, and it plays 35 millimeter, and it's super fun. So we went this morning and saw cool runnings with the kids.
It was your first time?
It was my first time seeing it. It was very, very funny. And then, we just had fun with the kids today. We went to dinner with my family, and then I came back, and all my friends, not all my friends, but some of my friends were over, and we had cake and let the kids play, and it was just really, really fun.
We had 2 cakes.
We did have 2 cakes.
So you didn't stick around for the second cake.
Yeah.
Wah wah.
Yeah. Okay, so we wanted to, again, if we're looking off to the side, it's because we want to make sure things are in focus, and we're trying to get better about that, and we wanted to be super up close today because we would love to show you all of the things that we were able to purchase at StitchCon, the things that we have been working on, and last Flosstube we were super far away, and that was totally my fault. I forgot to stop and move and have him move the camera forward so that you guys could see it. So that was totally my fault. I apologize. I wanted the very beginning to be far away and then move in, and I just forgot. So,
what you wearing?
I am wearing my very new Stitchy Bus shirt from Keepsakes.
What? What's a Stitchy Bus?
So, one of the big surprises that Keepsakes had for us for StitchCon this year was that Barbara and Joe, the owners of Keepsakes, purchased a school bus, and Joe redid the school bus, put some new things on it, painted it, and labeled it the Stitchy Bus. So it made trips all weekend long to Keepsakes and back and forth to the La Quinta, which is where the late night stitching room was, which we were very well versed in the late night stitching room.
It was like an after party for stitchers.
It was really
that's exactly what it was.
That's where I got the majority of my stitching done, was in the late night room.
Yes.
Yes.
And I think that was more of an intimate setting.
Yeah.
Because it was a smaller room.
Yes.
Got to talk to a lot of stitchers.
Yeah.
Both just regular stitchers and floss tubers and things like that. And we got to know a lot of friends.
Yeah.
Stitchy
so we'll kind of talk about StitchCon here in a little bit, but we did want this to be like a pretty typical floss tube for us. So we'll talk about the things that we were able to do before StitchCon, after StitchCon, and just kind of go from there. What our we get to talk about our SAL because it is the very beginning of July, so we get to talk about our stitch along and just some really super fun things. So let's get that out of the way first. Let's talk about our stitch along. We are doing Christmas in July, which is, if you saw our last Flosstube, you saw that our studio is decorated for Christmas, and I love it. And so, today's July 2nd. You'll probably be watching this. Well, you might be watching this later today. So our stitch along started, and that stitch along is, right there.
Right there.
It is Home for the Holidays from Sue Hillis Designs. And make sure, if you are not following us on Instagram, I'm Kia B Quilting. He is Tech Guy in the Hive with some underscores in there.
Lots.
Follow us on Instagram because that's where we're going to be posting most about our stitch along. We'll mention it in our weekly floss tubes, but you'll find most up-to-date things and progress pictures and maybe some Insta stories as we upload them to Instagram. So we have come up with a hashtag. I don't know if I told you this.
This is new to me.
Yeah, so we've come up with a hashtag for our stitch along because I know there are so many of you stitching along with us. Barbara at Keepsakes said they ordered 40 patterns and sold out almost immediately. I know we've sold a lot from Fat Quarter Shop, and we're just so excited about that. So if you're stitching along with us, we are using the hashtag, and Tech Guy will try and put it around,
right
here somewhere.
Here.
We are using the hashtag in the Hive for the holidays.
Ooh.
So it's a little bit of a long hashtag, but I feel like it makes sense for us. And so we love that you're joining us in the Hive. We love that you're stitching along with us. And I'm just really excited to be doing this. It's something new for us to do. And so I'm just really excited about it.
Me too.
Yes. So, speaking of our stitch along, I wanted to go over two things with you. What I will be stitching, what tech I will be stitching, kind of our not requirements, but what our plan for the stitch along is, and then something super duper fun that you'll get to see on Instagram later this week. So, Tech Eye is going to be stitching with the called for DMC colors. The models were beautiful, and they were all done in DMC. They were absolutely beautiful. So if you follow us on Instagram, you saw in my Insta stories that I showed them, and the girls did so well, and Sue had them finished.
Amazing.
So cute.
It was awesome.
And so we've got a big basket here full of all of our StitchCon things. So if we lean forward, but guys, can you see this? Let me make sure it's in focus. That right there is the Sue Hillis. That's her signature.
What a sweetheart.
She signed it for us, and I'm sure she thought we were so annoying. But I was so glad to have this from her, and she was really glad to be to hear that we were doing her stitch along.
Yes.
And so Sue signed that for us, and so we get to have that as our copy of Home for the Holidays.
And we will forever treasure it.
Yes. So I was really pumped about that. So let's talk about, let's see, he's doing DMC.
Yep.
We are both doing on the color Graceful Gray from Wichelt. I have pre-cut, I don't have them sitting, yes I do. I was going to say, I don't have them sitting here in front of me. But what I did is I took a piece of Graceful Gray, and I cut out the majority of all of the patterns. So what I did is I kind of measured it out, and then cut down my Graceful Gray. And down here in the corner, you will see in the very bottom corner, this one is struck with the trees, and I've done that marking it with a heat erase pen, so a friction pen, and that way that most of the time I won't be using, because I've cut it pretty big. I think I did 2.5 inches extra on each side, and so most of the time that will get lost in the finishing. But just in case, it is heat erase, and I use that all the time in quilting. So I've just kind of labeled each of them as I've cut them and serged the edges, and we're good to go. So he will be starting with, let me grab the pattern. He is going to start with this one down here at the bottom. That is the Radio Flyer Wagon with the Christmas tree.
Yes.
And I'm going to be starting this one here at the top. That is the camper with all the trees on it. And we saw these actual models at their trunk show at StitchCon. And like I said, they are absolutely beautiful. So he's going to be doing the called for DMC colors. And I am going to tell you right now my week's dye works. Now I told you before you could call Keepsakes and order I gave them a list of my conversions, or you could order them from Fat Quarter Shop. Their customer service department also had a list of the conversions I chose, but I'm going to go through them really, really quickly with you right now. So the first DMC called for color was 3866, and it's thundering all of a sudden. And I changed to Grits from Weeks Dye Work.
Fancy Floss.
Weeks Dye Works. Okay, and then 3033, I chose white chocolate. Look at the variegation in that.
It's beautiful.
I think I'm going to hold it up like this so you guys can see it better, maybe. Yeah, there we go. Okay. Then 738 is beige. Is this the right one? Yes, sorry. I'm just making sure I have all the right ones. So I changed it, I converted it to beige from Weeks Dye Works. Then 435 is Bright Leaf.
These are super awesome colors.
Yeah, I love it. I love this palette. Okay, then 434 I converted to Pecan. So it's a little darker. Love that. And if you're wondering, here's these two together. There is a pretty big difference when you're looking at them the same. Yeah. Okay. Then, let's see, I did 3371, I changed to mascara. Not changed, I converted to mascara. Then 762, I converted to White Lightning, and do you guys see that?
That's awesome.
Like the gray, the silver, the white, beautiful. Okay, 414, I converted to Graphite. And you can see what they're going to look like up against this cloth, too, because that's the color I chose. $9.88 is to Hunter. Ooh, this one's kind of a mess. Bro, you need a comb. Oh, I still can't get that knot out. Okay, so there's that one. Then, let's see. $9.86 to Juniper. It's a really dark green color. Love that. Then $3.50 I converted to Juniper. $3.50 I converted to Grenadine. Not saying that very well. So it's kind of like this coral color, and it's definitely variegated with some deeper reds in it. So I really like that. Okay, $8.17 to Turkish Red, which is a great red color.
Yes.
So like the light is not picking that up very well. And then $3.04 to Candy Apple, bright red. Oh my goodness, the camera's not picking up what true color that is, but it is a bright red.
It's in your face.
And then last but not least, $3.17 I converted to Battleship, which is like a steel gray color. Love that. So those are my colors that I'm going to be stitching home for the holidays on. And like I said, I'm starting with the camper with the trees. Tech Eye is starting with the cute little radio flyer with the tree on it. And I just think it's super cute. So our plans are, our stitch along is going to run through all of July, Christmas and July, using the hashtag in the Hive for the holidays. I cannot wait to see you guys stitching along. Let me see who is doing that. I want to see who is who's stitching. So with that being said, after I don't feel like it's going to take us a whole month to stitch a radio flyer and a tree and a camper and a couple of trees. So we'll just kind of keep going. After we get those done, then we'll move on to another one. Then we'll move on to another one and just kind of see how far we get. There's no time limits or anything like that. We're going to post separately on our social medias how far we're getting. Yep. And we'll show them in our normal floss tubes, and we want to see how you guys are doing. And yeah, I know one of our table mates at StitchCon, her name's Karen. She's going to be stitching along with us.
Hi, Karen.
And I'm super pumped. So many of you said that you already had the pattern. You're going to pull that out, grab your floss, and be ready to go. So we're really, really excited about that. Comment down below so that we know we should be watching for you on Instagram.
Yes.
Yes. So we're so excited. We have our Sue Hillis pattern ready to go. Our floss, our fabric is all cut up. We get to start stitching as soon as we're done with filming this floss tube.
I'm excited.
Yeah, so I'm pretty pumped about that.
It's like something we're working together but separately. Yeah. I absolutely love that.
Yeah, and yeah, so I'm glad to be doing this.
Yes.
So the other part of our Christmas in July is quilting, and we shared with you guys a half-yard bundle of Sweet Christmas from Moda. And I've completed our first project, and we'll be filming that so that it is uploaded later this week, so you guys can get a head start on that. I'm not doing a tutorial for it, but we are doing the Christmas wreath pattern that is a free pattern from Fat Quarter Shop. It uses 6 half-yard cuts. I've already made the quilt top. I'm going to give you my pointers on adding a border to any of your quilts. So this is a called for border that's in the pattern. I'm going to show you how I add the border because those can be a little tricky, and then we'll give you all the links to the pattern. They have a video tutorial of how to do it, and so I'm not going to be doing a tutorial or anything like that, but that's going to be our first quilt along for this week for Christmas in July.
Sounds like a blast.
I love it. It turned out so cute.
Yeah, you enjoyed doing that.
Yeah, I really did. So that's our stitch along. We cannot wait to see you guys on Instagram and stitching along with us. So if you don't have Instagram, that's totally fine. Let us know in the comments that you're stitching along, and then we can kind of stay connected through email or other things like that.
Yeah, if you want to send pictures through email, or when you comment down below, put your Instagram handle on there.
Yeah.
So we can add.
Yeah.
And see what you're doing. Yeah,
and then at the end of the month, we're going to go through the hashtags and see how many stitchers we have, and we're going to be giving a $50 gift card away to one of our favorite stores. And so we haven't decided which one yet, but we know that we are going to be giving a $50 card away.
That's pretty awesome.
Yeah. So at the end of the month, so definitely make sure and let us know that you're stitching along.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so let's talk about whips.
Ooh.
Guys, I'm still not done with those Christmas ornaments. I'm going to get them done, though. I just decided I'm so close. Like, I'm going to finish them this week because yes, I'm going to be finishing them this week. I only have like 2.5 more to go. But I just decided I didn't want to take them to StitchCon for a couple of different reasons. One being that I really wanted a StitchCon new start. And so I finally decided what I was taking with me and committed to that. And so I left Christmas ornaments here, but I'm back and ready to finish them. So I haven't stitched on them anymore this week. Oh no, that's a lie. I guess I did get 1.5 done. So that was my whip. And then the other things, let me show you what I worked on at StitchCon. So I showed you in our Keepsakes haul that I had bought Neighbors for a Night, which was a postcard pattern. And I started that, and you guys, look how cute that is. So this is Neighbors for a Night. The only thing I have left to do is finish the bonfire. This is a monochromatic, so I need to finish the bonfire, and then it'll say Neighbors for a Night up here at the top, and then it'll have some confetti stitched stars all around it. I love that. I think it's super cute. I really wanted to get this done and be able to ring Pam and Steph's finishing bell, but I did not because I was doing some other things.
Yes.
So that was that. All I did was Graceful Gray because I had a scrap piece lying around, and then DMC color 311, and
such a great color.
Such a great color. And this is what it looks like there in the bottom. I can't show you the other side that's bigger because then it would be the chart.
Yep.
So I'm gonna get that finished this week. I know it.
Did you enjoy doing that?
Oh, I loved it.
Good.
So if you remember, that is the pattern that Tech Guy picked out for me at Keepsakes because I lost our card playing contest.
Yep.
So the next thing I worked on was She Believed She Could, so she did. And I saw 3 other stitchers working on this out of 360 some stitchers. I saw 3 others working on this very pattern. And so I worked on this quite a bit on Friday during the day, and I not quickly.
It wasn't a quick process.
Oh no. I had stitched most of the day. I mean, we were obviously being extremely social. So I maybe got, I would say 7 or 8 lines into the sewing machine. And I was just like, I'm not seeing any progress in this. I love, love, love this pattern. And I told y'all that I thought about not putting the words on here, and I just wasn't seeing any progress. So I will show you what I did. I picked out a different cloth than I typically would have. And look at that cloth. Look how
beautiful that is.
Look at that. It is an Aida. It's a 14 count Aida. We have not figured out where it's from.
Nope. We've asked friends.
Yes. But let me show you
the color that you're probably seeing on the...
Oh yeah, this looks very like bluish teal.
It's not.
This is a green. Like, this is a green.
Reminds me like a Christmas tree green.
Yes. If I would have used the called for DMC or the called for Aurifil, it would have blended in too much to this fabric. So what I did is I took my sewing machine stitches out. I did do a Weeks Dye Works conversion for this. I took my DMC colors out and put in those. Then the stitches that I had done on the sewing machine. Our new friend Tilly, we were sitting in the late night stitching room. Hi Tilly. And I was just telling her, like, oh man, I just feel like this is, like, I'm really, really slow on this, and I'm not sure that I have the endurance to finish this pattern, which is totally fine. And she thought, well, maybe you should, like, narrow it down a little bit. So here's what I'm doing with my cute little bee needle minder. Okay, so I have gotten the scissors done, and let me tell you, I used Confederate gray for the actual, like, scissor blades, and the variegation makes it look like silver. It's super cute. And then I'm doing the word sew, and then I'm going to finish it off with that really cute pin cushion with all the pins in it on the other side, and then I'm going to be done with this pattern. It's going to be long and skinny and super cute, and yeah, so I'm going to be done with that pattern after that, and I'm really actually, like, very excited about it. Yeah, I'm excited to, like, work on that and finish it.
Yep.
So let me tell you the colors that I changed to. just some Weeks Dye Works ones. I did Sweetheart Rose and Watermelon Punch and Candy Apple and Saffron and Squash, because that was going to be my sewing machine color, was the yellow. And I got, like I said, 7 or 8 rows in and gave up. And then we have Meadow and Bayberry and Confederate Gray. So it is not that I do not like the pattern, because I love that pattern, and Lori Holt is one of my favorite designers. I was getting discouraged that I wasn't making very good progress, and so it's partially because I chose to start that at StitchCon when I was being really social. So, yes. So, and then I just keep it. I told y'all about these dollar store plastic binder pouches, so I'm just keeping everything in there for right now.
Awesome.
Yeah. So those are my whips for this week. What about you?
Starts and whips?
Starts and
whips. All right. Yeah. So, I can't remember on the last video where on the last video I completed everything. Yeah. So I wanted to get a fresh start on StitchCon, have a StitchCon start. I didn't go into StitchCon with a whip planned and to finish, and I wish I did, so I can ring that bell. But this is where I started. I know y'all tired?
Yeah, StitchCon hangover.
StitchCon hangover. So y'all know that I'm doing Silver Creek's Christmas list. I fell in love with it at Keepsakes. I just loved it, right? So this amazing is what I've done so far. Yes. So the Ada is sterling. It was. I picture this plus. Thank you. 14 count Ada. 14 count. And I'm trying to get the terms right. I've been doing this since April. We have family visits, turkey dressing, wetters. I was laughing when I was stitching it. Yes. Found Look at this cute little Dumbledore needle binder too. Found this gem. Beautiful fabric. Folded up in Keepsakes in one of the cabinets, and when we pulled it out, I loved it. Yeah. Loved it. It's different than whatever I've stitched so far. Granted, I haven't stitched very long. It's soft. It's what you're seeing is not giving it justice of what it's actually here in person. So what I'm going to do is finish the wording through the Christmas list and go back and do the pictures. Oh, it's just so, like, up here it looks gray, but it's definitely, I wish the colors would come out better. Yep. Up, as I'm looking in the monitor, it looks gray, but it is not. It's like this mint, green, blue color. And I just, oh my gosh. People were coming from tables away to see this fabric. It's because they saw my 17 by 17 Q-snap. He was using the big square. Karen, I tackled it. I think I deserve an applause somewhere. Yes. But I swapped it to 11 by 17. Yes. But I'm going to be... So many people said, oh my gosh, I have that pattern, or I started that pattern, I'm a third of the way done, or whatever. And so I think he inspired a lot of people to... Just get that back out. It's a big pattern. I mean, it's a big. And there was a finish there, so they have it was beautiful. Like a show and tell or a brag table, and there was a finish of that there, and it was gorgeous. It was gorgeous. And if you haven't picked it up, first of all, if you haven't picked it up, pick it up. Yes. If you have it, don't be intimidated by it. Yeah. It's just long. It's just long, and I think we will enjoy it when it's done. There's a couple things that I've got to. Go back with the details, but I just kept on going with the wording. The wording is the bulk of the pattern. Yeah. And I love wording. So I'm just going to go through the list. Was it Barb with Lost and Floss that said she finished hers? She hasn't FFO'd it, but she's finished stitching it, and it's huge. Oh, man. She couldn't remember what count it was on, but she's like, it's way too big. So she's going to make like a long banner out of hers. I'm planning on to knocking this out like as soon as possible. Yeah. And not, y'all know I'm a monogamous stitcher. I'm breaking rules this month. But this is where I'm at with it, and I will continue to stitch it a lot and get it done. Yeah. So I think that's the only one I've started, and that's the only whip I have. Mm-hmm. Yeah. Sorry, I'm in a yawn this whole time. StitchCon hangover. StitchCon hangover is hard. Hashtag. Okay, I don't have any finishes. I don't either. Okay, but our finishes for Smalls Exchange were very well loved.
our friend Karen that we've mentioned a couple of times, she happened to get mine. She was not at our table when I brought my Smalls Exchange in from the car and put it on the Smalls Exchange table. And so she had no idea what bag was mine. She came back to the table and I looked at her and I said, Karen, that's my bag. She got so excited. So excited. And so she opened it, loved it. We got a picture. It's super cute. So I think this is a good time to talk about Smalls Exchange.
Yes.
So here is yours if you want to go first.
Yes.
There you go.
So got a lovely bag. Really, really cute card. Cute. Lady's name is Linda. I'm not going to give out the last name because I didn't ask her. But she spent time on this, and I want to make sure that I say hi and thank you. Linda W. That's what I'm going to go with. Linda W. Has a super awesome note inside. She got me a bag of goodies too. So not only an FFO, she got me 2 other things.
Yes.
So kind of going with this Christmas in July. Look at that. Look at that.
Like, that is so pretty. So it is on the paper.
Mm-hmm.
And these all, like you can see the Kier's beads, all this is beading. Like it has.
There's a lot of love and hard work into this.
So cute.
So the first time.
So that was part of it.
When we first came home, I wanted to take it out of the bag and put it on the tree. So it will go back on the tree in our studio for that.
Oh, I'm so sorry. It's all right.
And also have color and cotton. This is fancy floss. I will go into that later. But this is my first official non-DMC floss that someone gave me. So thank you, Linda.
And this is a limited edition.
Limited edition. So
this is hand-dyed silk. It's 5 yards, and it's called from the Cozy Christmas Collection. And it is
amazing green. Like there's different types of greens and shades beautiful. And just absolutely
definitely cozy Christmas.
Cozy Christmas. And then of course you can't have enough of these snips. Like can't have enough of these.
Yes.
So Linda, thank you very much for your hard work. Thank you for putting time and effort into this. I do appreciate it, and I will always appreciate it. So thank you, Linda.
Very, very cool. I think we should put a yawn counter in here because yikes. Okay, so without showing you the actual small, when it was time for me to do my exchange, I saw this on the table. I was number 21 or 22 out of 100 in my exchange, and so I was pretty early on, and I saw this sitting on the table, and I was like, oh, this is cute. It's got the ladybug. I love this tin, the burlap with the red. Like, I just think this is super cute. And I think it had ladybug tissue paper in it, so I was like, oh, ladybugs, like, I could do that. That's cute. And I just thought it was a neat way of wrapping. I like to wrap things in something that's not a gift bag. And it was just super cute. And then it's got this I didn't realize when I first had it, but that's a needle minder. So I thought that was really cute.
Can't have enough of those.
So I go back to my table and I open it and I immediately start crying. Because how in the world was I lucky enough, like how did this work out that I got this small? And I will show you why. This is from an incredibly sweet lady. Here's the beautiful card. And this is from Mary. And like him, I'm not going to give out her last name because I didn't ask her. This pattern, let me just show you what I got. Guys.
Amazing.
How did I get this? How? Look at that. It's got like the beads in it. It's got like a little thing back here that says 2019. It has a bee on it. It has several actual bees on it and the little flowers. Like, how did I get this from a ladybug container?
She said something about that too.
Yes. So she tried to throw everybody off by the ladybugs.
She did a great job.
So she threw me off. But I started crying. Happy tears, of course, because, I mean, that's perfect. Okay, so this is stitched on, it's Little House Needleworks, not released yet, stitched on 30 count portobello linen, and it is from the Little Help from Our Friend Stitching Circle. She just said, I hope you enjoy it as much as I enjoyed stitching it. So I love that.
She does.
Love that. Also, down in the bucket was really cute. We have this little needle threader.
Oh no.
we've got that tiny little needle threader, which is cute. His little beak comes up. I think I showed you guys that we had one of these, and then the floss goes in there. And then this needle threader, so cute. When you open it, it is the wire kind, so you're probably not going to be able to see that. But there is a wire there, and you thread your floss through that. But let me show you what happens when you open it all the way up.
Boom.
So that when you are trying to thread your floss, you've got a light. Love that.
Very
Perfect.
Cool. Very thoughtful gift.
Again, I just could not believe that of all the stitchers there, got this one. And I just thought that was so special. So Mary, thank you so very much. Loved that. So some other things in StitchCon that we got as gifts. So that kind of wraps up our normal Flosstube. Now let's talk about StitchCon and haul and things like that. So when we arrived, we were given a really amazing tote bag. It is, which we're not going to show you because everyone's probably going to show you. But we got a really awesome tote bag that I actually ended up using as my stitching bag for the whole weekend. Then we got a passport, and we loved this idea. And we have an idea for this because we were so busy being social, we did not get anybody's stickers. We didn't fill ours out at all. So what happened is when you signed up to be a Flosstuber at StitchCon, they ask you a passport question. For instance, what mother-daughter duo, I'm trying to think, what mother-daughter duo loves wine and Mountain Dew? Well, who would that be? Pam and Steph. So that question, I don't know if that was their actual question, but it would be in here, and then you would need to go find Pam and Steph, and they would give you stickers to put in the little box right there. So what we want to do is we want to take and try and figure out what everybody's question is, and just kind of have a passport section in our floss tubes, and that way we can kind of give some shout outs from Flosstubers that were at StitchCon. So we're really, really excited to do this. Excuse me. We have no idea how, but we were the very first question. Which Flosstuber duo has lost the most hair in the last 3 years of their YouTube journey? Us. As some of y'all know, when I first started YouTube, my hair was extremely long. It was down the middle of my back. Then I got it cut up to about here, and now it's this short and huge and apparently sticking up. Okay? He had hair when we started, and now he's bald. Yes. And so we just thought that was a really fun stitching question. That would be really exciting. And then we were given a really cute felt ornament that we came home and immediately put on the tree because we got 2 of them, one for me and one for him. And then we got this adorable journal in our bag. This is 2019 StitchCon journal, and it just has lined pages in it. And I have a very specific idea for this. It's
a great quality and great build.
Yes.
I love it.
So excited. Which somebody's going to make fun of me who knows me from StitchCon. The shake and bake, what's it actually called? Make and take? Take and make? Shake and bake? I don't know, something. We got, on the very last day, we got all the supplies we needed to make a scissor fob. So I got to make this one. You all know that I have been talking about how much I love my Tula Pink duckbill scissors. So it had a little tassel on it, which I thought that was so cute. And then the charms this year were 2019 and a school bus.
For what?
For this Stitchy bus. And so we made that on the last day. Thank you, Katie, for helping me because I'm an idiot and don't know how to make these. And so she helped me out, and it turned out super cute. Loved
fact,
that.
It's my first scissor.
It's my birthday!
Yes, it is.
That was your first scissor fob?
It is my first scissor fob.
Super fun.
So thank you.
Super fun. We got lots of other goodies. We got tons of free patterns that we can't show you because, they're charts.
Yep.
And so we just got tons of free stuff and tons of little things that they give you right at the door. We got pralines. We had candy in the middle of the table. We had an actual StitchCon chart that says the word StitchCon on it, just kind of like that.
Boom.
And just some super, super fun things. So, let's talk about haul.
Haul.
Yes. And the reason we're not going into more depth of we got this and this and this at StitchCon, basically because we know everybody's going to be doing that and we don't want to completely bore you.
Yep.
So,
or we don't want to be we want to make sure that you are, that we're aware of your time.
Yes.
And we want to make sure that you're going to see other Flosstubers and other people that were there.
Yeah.
And there's nothing wrong with what they're going to go over if we were to go over it.
Yeah.
But, I want them to be able to show something different. We want to do something different.
Yeah.
So,
I don't want to step on any toes.
Nope.
Yeah. So, haul.
If you're not familiar with the green gingham bag.
Where's that from?
Keepsakes.
Keepsakes. Okay, I'm going to give you this one for right now.
Sure.
Okay, so the very first day we went into Keepsakes and they had a trunk show from like a whole stitchy store from Color and Cotton and then Under the Sea Fabrics. So we found some Color and Cotton and some projects I'm going to show you kind of simultaneously. Okay? The very first one I picked up was Sue Hillis Designs.
Of course.
Christmas Calories. This says calories don't count at Christmas, and it's that super cute cake plate. You can't really see it, but that is a pink cloth, and look what I found. How stinking adorable
is that?
So that is a Color and Cotton. It is hand-dyed Ada in grapefruit. This is 16 count Ada, and I got 1/8 of a yard of it so that I can do this on it. Awesome. Super cute. Okay, the next thing, I found this Sue Hillis pattern.
Of course.
It is the Happy Camper series called High Tides and Good Vibes. So cute because, as some of y'all know, we got a camper this year for our anniversary, and so we've been making super fun things with that. And look what Color and Cotton I got with that.
Boom.
Boom. Perfect. Love that. Okay. Then I picked up some, because I want to be an adult and a big girl, I picked up some Jobelin. I'm going to try and stitch on Jobelin. This is the color Lemonade. Again, the color that you see on your screen is not as bright as it is.
Yep.
This is 32 count Jobelin in the color Lemonade, and I got 1/8 of a yard of that. And then, because we love the hometown holidays,
yes,
the Village, I picked out this. This is 18 count Ada in the color Pewter, and we are going to do that hand-dyed cloth for hometown holidays.
Yes.
With Little House Needleworks.
Yes.
Okay. I picked up 2 more colors, Pistachio and Sea Glass. Some of these things came from Keepsakes, and some of these things came from the shop that was at StitchCon, which is called the Annex.
Yes, which was 2 different shopping experiences.
Yes.
So if y'all are interested in StitchCon next year, there is 2 different shopping experiences. They don't overlap.
Yes.
It is a thing. So.
Yeah. Okay. This is another pattern that we got. This is from Bling Designs called Christmas Eve Ride. And I thought of my mom when I saw this, and so I wanted to get this and stitch it up. It says, "May you never be too old to search the skies on Christmas Eve." It's a little row of houses with a Santa and his reindeer, and I just thought that was absolutely adorable. And so I will be stitching this up. Let me get it out here so you can actually see it. So super cute. Okay. Then we got 2 needle minders for our Christmas in July. Now, because we're doing home for the holidays, there are campers and trucks in there, and so we got a wooden truck. I'm trying to not have the glare. There we go. Wooden truck and a wooden camper. We haven't decided who gets what, so we got those needle minders.
That's only what I got.
And then we got a free pattern from Lindy Stitches. That's that cute, tiny little turtle. And we all decided that it definitely looks like Cooter from Cooter Analog on Instagram.
If you haven't followed Brandy,
and Cooter is her little turtle.
Which, if you check out that Instagram, the turtle's all over the place.
Yes. Okay, this thing is not a haul. This was a gift because Debbie at Snug Harbor Crafts is the cutest human being I've ever seen in my whole life. I want to put her in my pocket and bring her home with us.
In a non-creepy way.
In a non-creepy way.
Debbie,
I loved her. We got to FaceTime with Kath, and that was super fun. And she said, my mom is obsessed with you. Dude, I'm more obsessed with Debbie than she is with us because I love her. She brought us this pattern because I commented on her video that I loved it so much, and I emailed her because I couldn't find the pattern anywhere and wanted to know if her shop had another one. She brought it to me. So this is Country Cottage Needleworks. This is Reindeer Games, and so it says Dasher, Dancer, Prancer, Vixen, Comet, Cupid, Donner, Blitzen, and Rudolph. And I thought this was the cutest thing.
It's awesome.
So I'm going to stitch that up. So adorable. So So she was so sweet to bring that to me. Like, that was so touching. She wouldn't take money for it, so we slid money under her candy bag and walked away. And I emailed her after we left StitchCon so she wouldn't be able to give it back. Yep. So, okay, the other thing is, and I think we could say this on here, Debbie from Snug Harbor Crafts and then Karen from our table were stitching on Emerald City by Owl Forest. Oh, this is a free pattern. It is a Russian design company. It is super, super cute. Emerald City, I'm sorry. Emerald City is a Wizard of Oz free pattern. And so my mom is obsessed with Wizard of Oz. She's loved it. She was a little girl. Yep. So Nathan's going to stitch that for her. And look at that fabric. Again, it's not giving. It's not even doing it justice. So we found this at Keepsakes. We got the whole yard of it because we needed it. We needed it. So super cute. I thought that looked like a sky. And then we got the floss to go along with it. Such an interesting color palette. So there are some in here that are Classic Colorworks, some that are Weeks Dye Works, and then some that are Gentle Art. And so it's just such a different color palette. Like, you've got colors like these purple and green, but then I'm interested to see how it all gets stitched out. So thank you, Susan. So, yes. Thank you, Susan at Keepsakes. She's just a customer of Keepsakes. But let me tell y'all how amazing their customers are. That lady is just They have regular customers. Jen from the Spooneroony Stitcher. Right, Spooneroony. Emily, I don't know her tag, and Susan. They're customers. And Lenny. Yes, I'm sorry. Lenny is an employee. Yes. The other three are customers. And Joe, of course. My goodness. They ran that shop completely without Barb or Steph or anybody else there and had it run flawlessly so that buses could come in and out and everybody could have a great shopping experience. And we appreciate that so very much. Yep. So thank you, ladies. Susan pulled all our DMC colors that this pattern calls for, and she helped us color match to all the variegated, the over-dyed She never once complained or make me feel like I was done. No. Like, Susan, she was so patient. Awesome. Thank you very much for your help. Yes, yes, absolutely. So, I just thought, our haul was super fun. The other thing, and the last thing we have to actually show you is this super cute business card. This is from the Silent Stitcher, Corey. She was so sweet, and she brought those around. And then Under the Sea Fabrics was there, and we got to meet Leslie, and she's such a sweet person. Yes. On the very last night, we got to stitch with her. Not stitch. We really sat and talked with her until about 4 o'clock in the morning, and it was so nice to be able to see her in person, to know what she does, and so we were very, very excited to do that. So overall, I would say our StitchCon experience was phenomenal. We met so many wonderful people. Yes. Wonderful people. Our table was amazing. You can give a shout out to them? Yes. So we had, go ahead. How about you do that? So I've got Karen, which first invited us to the table. We look like in high school, last people to show up with our lunch trays. Last people in the lunchroom. And we looked around, and she flagged us down, and what a sweetheart. Yes. So thank you, She had Karen. No idea we had Flosstube. That's fine. Nothing. That's fantastic. Yes, it was so great. So Karen, thank you for inviting us. Yes. Marcia was there, sweet lady. I'm not going to go into it before I get all teary-eyed. We're thinking of you and your family. Yes. Yes. And then she brought over Sonia. Thank you very much for inviting us and teaching us a couple things about stitching and linen. Yeah, she was a really big cheerleader. Like, you can do this. She was an open book about that stuff. Yeah. And then we had Lynn that was on your left. Yes. Super Miss sweet. Lynn was so sweet. And y'all, her husband came with her, and he basically just hung out in the hotel while she was in the room stitching. What a supportive husband. So great. It was so sweet. Yeah. Yes, and then we had change up. Marsha had to leave. Yes. And then we had Bess. So thank you, Bess. From Lexington. Yes, and then we had a huge dinner with them one of the nights. So thank you for including us in your plans. Fun. And Sonia's husband came and met us for dinner. And hi, Kevin. And so did Bess. Her husband came and met us for dinner, and it was just a really sweet moment where we got to spend the whole weekend with these people, and then we went to dinner with them, and it was just really nice to get to meet new people. Yes. The stitching community is different than any other community I've ever been a part of, and the support and the fun and just the encouragement that's there is so incredibly, incredibly sweet. The girls at Keepsakes ran StitchCon like a dream.
The whole team.
Like a dream. They all worked their tails off, and it definitely showed. So, I, of course, got to spend time with Stephanie. So much time, so much sweet time. I appreciated that so much. Tech Eye got to spend some time with Pam. We both did, but, like, Tech Eye loves Pam.
I love Pam. Hi, Pam.
We met a new friend named Tilly, and so we talked about the late night stitching room. So the stitching room at StitchCon was open in the convention center from 8 a.m. to 10 p.m. And then there was in the La Quinta, which is a different hotel across the freeway, it was open from 11 p.m. until 2 a.m. And so we were there. The first night we got to the late night stitching room at 11 p.m. and we stayed there until 4 o'clock. We didn't go to sleep till about 4:30. And it was the most amazing get to know you time with Stephanie, and just to hear her story and her journey and where she's been. And it was amazing. Like, I feel so blessed that we were able to have that conversation.
Yes.
Then on the next night, so Friday night, we were exhausted. We said we are leaving here at 2 o'clock. And we left there at 2 o'clock. We got in bed by about 2:30.
Yep.
So that was really nice. Then on Saturday night, we thought, it's the last night, we'll just stay up as late as we want to. So we were there till about 4 again with the Cupcake Stitcher and their friend Katie, Leslie from Under the Sea Fabrics, Jen Lee. Oh my goodness, you guys.
And her mom.
Jen Lee and her mom. Jen Lee, I can't say it without just saying Jen Lee. Jen is so incredibly sweet. It is such a small world. And I loved getting to know her. I feel like we are couple twins. He loves everything Brandon was stitching. Like, he would totally stitch that. I love her organizational method. She is a planner girl.
It was done from there.
Guys, she got out her planner and I was like, I love you. Like, let's be twins now. And her mom came up to us and she was like, so I hear you're Brandon and Jen's, twins. So glad to have you. Jen's always wanted a sister. So glad to have you. And it was just really, really funny.
Just sweet people there.
Incredibly sweet. And so we stayed there till about 4 o'clock in the morning, got into bed about
I fell asleep before
4:30. He fell asleep about 3:30 in the lobby.
Yeah, well,
yes, I have a cute picture.
I wanted to make sure that y'all had some time, and I didn't want to be that husband that was kind of lingering. So I literally just stepped out of the room. I'm like, I'm just going to catch some Z's. I literally am sprawling out.
He is, in a chair.
No one's going to pick me up and take me home with them. So that's where we're at.
Yeah. So it was a really sweet time doing that. We met Lost and Floss. There's way too many people to say out loud who we met. We got to meet David. We got to meet Kyle. Guys, we got to meet Kyle.
That's pretty awesome.
He's the funniest. He is the funniest. We got to meet, oh my goodness, Bev. She was like the sweetest person ever. I feel like I want to stop naming names because I'm going to forget something.
So if we're not mentioning your name,
please don't get offended. We just have so many.
Important. Yes. Trust me, we've been talking about y'all.
Yes.
From the car to come back home and still now, how you guys are amazing. So because if we didn't drop the name, trust me, you're not forgotten.
No, not at all.
We love you all.
I said it was going to take me, I said it on Insta Stories, it was going to take me about a week to process everything, and I'm still processing everything, but we're leaving town tomorrow, and we really wanted to get this filmed for you guys, really, because we really wanted to start stitching.
Yes.
Home for the holidays. And so, Barbara at Keepsakes is so sweet. She pulled us aside Thursday night, and she said, we love what you're doing. We love you guys. We are so excited to kind of be so close to you guys, because technically they're our LNS. They're the closest one to us, which they're about an hour and a half away. We are planning some things with them later on in the year, and we're just so excited about it. And so, it's so fun to see people. Cooter and his human, her name is Brandy. Brandy came up and she said, I met you on YouTube when you were like hardly any subscribers and you were just Quilting channel. And she was like, I was so excited to see that you guys were coming to StitchCon. I had no idea you were doing Flosstubes. And then we had Sweet Mary. Oh my goodness. she came up and said she had seen a tutorial of ours and thought, oh my goodness, I think I could do that. And she started quilting. And she's been doing it for a year and a half, and she's stinking amazing at it. So that was amazing to be able to meet her and see her. And so what was such a great reminder is that we just started our Flosstube journey. Our subscribers are mostly because of quilting, and that is what our channel is about. And we've just kind of started dabbling in cross stitch. And what I said over the weekend, I feel like quilting is my job. Like, that is what I love to do. I have a passion for teaching others how to quilt and for kind of keeping that art alive. I love to give gifts of quilting, things like that. And cross stitch is my downtime. And I love that, like, just as much. And so I've always done that. I've just never, like, put it on our channel. And I love the idea of Flosstube so much that I was just really glad to be able to do that. And so the majority of our 20,000 subscribers now, which blows my mind. What a great birthday present. What a great group of people to hit that goal. We hit that goal about 2:30 in the morning, Sunday morning. We were in the late night stitching room. I'm jumping up and down. Like, everyone is all excited because we had been counting down all weekend long. We are so thankful for this community and for our new friends that we're making, for friends that we've had in the quilting world for so long. We're so excited about that. And we know that those subscribers love us and love what we do. And we know that, like, I'm going to get on a soapbox here, but we know that, like, we all love the same thing. We all have a love of quilting. We all have a love of cross stitch, and that's what's bringing us together.
I love the needlework.
Yes, absolutely. And so seeing all of us in that room at one point, and, like, so many people came up going, oh my gosh, I love your quilting tutorial, or I saw this tutorial, loved it, or, you know, so many questions about Fat Quarter Shop that I could not answer, that I was like, you got to contact them. I don't know the answer to that. Basically, just because they know the relationship that we have with them and that we really have loved to buy products from them before. And so just really super interesting to me. So we definitely came away with a lot to process, a lot to plan for, a lot to do. And what a great month to come into this as Christmas in July, that we get to do all of these things together, and we get to do them with such a wonderful audience that we've now met some of them in person.
It's crazy.
Yeah.
Like, it's just mind-blowing. It's just humbling. It's amazing. I was emotional on the way home.
For sure.
I'm a sentimental guy, too. And we stayed as long as we could. We
stayed till about 9:15 Sunday night. And we knew that my sister needed to be relieved.
And I know the relationships that we built there will be forever lasting.
Yes. When we were leaving, our table was like, so, StitchCon again next year?
Same time,
same time, same place, same table, whatever.
That's what we're working on.
It was just awesome.
If y'all can get on the wait list, if you guys are on the fence about it, I know I'm promoting pretty hard, but this is an experience that
is like no other. And we've heard it from other people that have gone to different retreats. I'm not saying anything bad about the other retreats, but this is the one. If you want to pencil it in, and you're like, hey, it is an event. It is not just a retreat. It is an event. It's an event. You need to go knowing that you're not going to stitch anything that you really need or want to stitch.
And that's okay.
It is purely bringing Flosstubers and their fans together. And so many of those Flosstubers are fans of other Flosstubers.
Oh, my goodness.
We got to meet Lost and Floss. They knew who we were before we even walked up to them, and my mind was blown.
First of all, I knew who you guys were.
Yes.
Thank you for putting me under pressure, but I was like really word bomb on everything. I was like fanboying over them, right? And they're like, I don't believe you. And I just whipped it out. So it was nice to meet you ladies.
Yeah. So, okay. Well, if you attended StitchCon, tell me about your experience. I want to know all of it. I want to know your story. I want to connect with you. Our email is in the description box below. Feel free to comment down below. I mean, seriously, like, I just had such a great time. And so thank you so much for just coming together as a community of quilters and cross stitchers, multi-crafters, all alike. We just had such a phenomenal time. We definitely want to thank Keepsakes for putting this on, and the committee that put on StitchCon for working so incredibly hard. Thank you for that. Thank you, Flosstubers, for keeping such a great craft alive and so exciting and just reviving that craft. So, okay. Well, thank you guys so much for joining us in the Hive. We hope that you enjoyed this version of Flosstube, kind of wrapping up StitchCon, showing you our whips, our hauls, and although we don't have any finishes, we look forward to the finishes that we have to come.
Yes.
All right. Well, thank you again for joining us in the Hive today. We will see you all next week.